And I was not able to have my program last time. Unfortunately, I was not feeling well, but now I'm perfectly fine. And today I have a very exciting subject: how to connect it to nature, how to be really and deeply connected to nature. And that is a very fascinating subject. For me, it's very important because I am a creature of nature, and I come from the elementals. So for me, being in nature means thriving. So I'm really feel well and always connected. But I think it's not difficult to connect to nature, even if you're not used to that. Because nature is so wonderful. It is so magical that it is really possible to go beyond what you see and start feeling, which is absolutely magical. So I would like to start by talking about uh, how to do that in an easy way. I think, as far as I'm concerned, that probably the easiest way to get in deep connection with nature is to start from woods, from forests. Forests are just magical environments, ecosystems. A wonderful book was written some time ago called "The Secret World of Trees," and actually, this book is very revealing because woods are really very intricate and very rich ecosystems in which trees interact. They help one another. They protect one another. It's true that plants cannot walk, but they have a language, and they have a way of communicating through the roots also. And so there is a whole hidden life in the woods that we are not able to see, but we are able to feel. So the first thing I would do for a start is to go into a wood or a forest and walk there, looking around and trying to feel what is there. The fresh air, the increased amount of oxygen, the light coming through the leaves or the rain or the wind, storming through the leaves, the sounds of the wood, and then the best thing to do is to sit down in a quiet place and meditate, trying to sorry. I'm not so I'm very well, don't worry. And so meditate in a relaxed position, trying to feel what you have under your feet, around you, and whether you are able to sense any new sensation, any new thing that is not familiar to you. And that is the first thing that we can do. Generally, meditation performs so much better when we are under old trees. Old trees are like, living memories of, wisdom and energy. They have so much energy to share and probably so much to say. And so if we sit down under an old tree to meditate, it's possible to get a lot of energy from the tree. And so this is the first thing I would do for a start if you're not used to having a deep connection with nature. And walking in the wood is not only beneficial for the fact that you're walking in nature, that you are in outdoors and with an increased amount of oxygen, and the air is clearly less polluted. But now there is a lot of scientific evidence that trees are able to release substances that interact directly with our brain receptors, especially the ones that are triggered by stress. So plants are able to produce some substances that reduce the amount of stress that we have. So a refreshing walk in the woods is also beneficial for our health. And so we get out of the wood refreshed, relaxed, less stressed. So this is already a plus. But being able to get a deep connection with this wonderful and secret life of trees is so magical, because there is a whole ecosystem in the wood. There are mushrooms, and there are little animals, birds, so many different plants, taller trees, smaller shrubs with their berries. And so there is so much to see if we're able to see the beauty and the harmony that exists in the woods. And in fact, it is heartbreaking when I see these huge fires that destroy acres and acres of woodland. It's just tragic, because that ecosystem goes forever. It will grow back, because nature is so powerful that it can grow back. But I mean, a whole legacy, an incredible piece of heritage is lost. The heritage of those ancient trees, and it's incredible. And so, you know, walking in woods is really, really beautiful to do. And actually, walking in the wood can be by itself a form of meditation. Even if we do not sit down, just walking there is a form of meditation. What I also do whenever I am about to enter into a forest, I ask for permission. And I ask the trees whether I have the permission to go into their beautiful wonderland. And so I can connect with the elementals of the wood, the fairies, the other little creatures of the wood who live there, and who are there to help me enjoy the place. So you can actually connect with these beautiful nature spirits who are always there. We cannot see them with our naked eyes. Some people are able to see them. I've never seen them, but I feel them. And it's wonderful, because the amount of living beings in these places is incredible, both tangible and intangible. So it's wonderful to be there, just to look around and sense the animals that are there, the birds singing, the butterflies, and the insects and other bigger animals, but also the invisible ones, the ones that are there to protect the wood and to help the trees, to help the plants. It is so magical that it's incredible. I actually took a lot of pictures of beautiful orbs in the woods. I have a Facebook page, and Lighter World Network Orbs. And if you want to have a look at the photos, they are so beautiful, because they come out in all sorts of shapes and all sorts of colors, especially when the sun hits the leaves of the trees. And there are so many beautiful things to see in the woods. It's just incredible how many wonderful creatures of light exist there. There may be angels or elementals, or other celestial beings whom we don't know really. But there is plenty. And so it's a fantastic experience. So every time I get into a wood, I ask for permission first, and I just connect through my heart. I try to breathe through my heart and send my loving light to all the plants and all the animals that are in the wood. And I receive back so much. It is incredible how much little we can give and how much we can get back from these wonderful creatures. So this is the first thing I would do. Another of water, and we come from water, and we are immersed in water, in liquid, in a fluid. when we are in our prenatal phase of life. And so we actually cannot live without water. And water is really a wonderful substance. First of all, because it flows, it cannot be stopped. And water finds its way. And it's amazing. It should be a great, great teacher, because it is the quintessential symbol of flow. So water flows. We should flow like water. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get, so much attached to things, and then we get stuck. And we shouldn't get stuck. So even watching a stream and the water flowing is so inspiring. But also the sound of water is so wonderful. And it is incredible to sit by a river or, in front of the sea, by a creek in nature, and listen to the sound of water. And we can actually send our loving thoughts to water, because water can change its structure according to how we see it, how we perceive it, and what we send to the water. Many incredible experiments have been made with water, and how water changes its structure, its molecular structure, to become pure and to become really pristine, if we send loving thoughts and loving energy to the water. So in fact, I do not always remember to do that. Fortunately, in Rome, we have very, very high quality tap water. So that's why I do not this frequently. But sometimes I put my hands on the glass of water, and I send my loving gratitude to water for what it is, for the life it gives to the planet. And the water changes its structure, and it becomes more energized and more beneficial for our health. So this is another thing I would do to start having a connection with nature. Getting connected with water is a great thing to do. A third thing I think is probably not so difficult for many people, is to get connected to animals. Animals are a passion for me, both, domestic animals and wild animals. I have a very, very deep connection with cats. I've always lived with cats. So having a connection with cats for me is like, it's just a source of incredible wonder and energy. And cats are the real teachers of good living. If you look at a cat, cats know how to live well. So they try never, to get stressed. They know when they have to eat, when they have to rest. They don't have to be bothered. They are very independent creatures. They have an innate knowledge of what they have to do. And it's wonderful to see how relaxed, how beautiful they can be, and how energetic they can become, and how playful and crazy and strange with their moves, with their faces. And cats have an inner language. I made a lot of experiments when I was a kid with my cats. I used to try telepathic exercises with them, telepathic tests. I would go while they were sleeping and they were not even looking at me. I would go to another place of the house, close the door, and then sit down and call the cats with my thoughts, and the cats would come every single time. So I did it over and over again. And so I know that cats are very sensitive to thoughts, very sensitive to emotions. They know what we are feeling. They know if we are not well. And so getting a deep connection with a cat is not that difficult, because if you observe a cat, it's possible to understand their language. Their language is sometimes not verbal. They're very vocal. I think cats have an incredible amount of vocalizations for many different things. I know many, but not all of them. So it's incredible how many things they can say to themselves, to other cats, to their human friends, to the little kittens. And but they have a lot of nonverbal expressions that are so nice and that are so telltale, much more than vocalizations. And so that's a wonderful thing. Many people have deep connections with other incredible creatures, such as parrots. A friend of mine has an incredible parrot. This parrot goes around a lot, and she flies away from home and she goes to other places. So everybody knows her in the neighborhood. And she is absolutely amazing, just such an intelligent animal. And she does whatever she wants. I mean, she cannot be retained in the house or in the garden. She flies away, and then now, fortunately, everybody knows who she is. She's white, so we call, the owner, say, look, Freccia is here, and Freccia means arrow, because probably she goes so fast as an arrow. She goes away, and she comes, and she wants to stay with people, interact with others, eat, and she has all sorts of vocalizations and words. She says she's amazing. So and I remember I went to an exhibition about the world of the future, about galaxies and space travel and quantum physics, and there was a very interesting part devoted to the search for extraterrestrial beings, and then there was a beautiful film about parrots and how intelligent and interactive they are. They're actually able to speak the language, and some civic evidence shows that they not only can speak the language in a conscious way, not only repeating, but actually they learn how to interact with other creatures. So this author said, why are we looking for extraterrestrial beings where we have them here on Earth? Because we have many species of animals that are not so, that in which the discoveries have not gone very far. So we have so much to understand. Even dolphins have an incredible life, an incredible way of speaking, and such a high intelligence. And even other water mammals, such as whales. And so there is a whole world of things that we can connect. Many people have deep connections with dogs. I do have a deep connection with dogs, not as much as cats, but clearly dogs are such wonderful companions that it's so easy to have a deep connection with them, because they are pure love. They just show and their love to us every single day. They would die for us. They would, do whatever they can for us. So it's amazing how much love they're able to share, and how much company and support they can give to people. And it's absolutely amazing. So getting connection with animals is also very important. I love, for example, meditating with a cat on my lap. I don't have to actually take the cat, because every time I'm meditating, the cat arrives, because cats love meditation. Cats love being in this wonderful expanded situation in which energies are flowing, and so cats always go where energy is pure and where there is a higher frequency. And so it's not difficult for me to meditate with a cat on my lap. And when this happens, I feel this very deep connection between me and the cat through the heart, because we can actually send loving light and loving energy to our animals through our hearts. And so we are, very, very deeply connected with them beyond what we feel on a regular basis. And there are so many other animals, such as horses, which are incredible creatures. They are able to sense people's feelings more than thoughts. So they are very sensitive animals. If I can say something about horses, horses are emotional, pure emotional animals. They live on emotions, and their emotions change all the time. They can change from relaxed and restful to very very brisky and energetic emotions, or sad emotions, or they are very fickle as animals, because they're like a day in the wind, in which there is the sun, and then there's the rain, and then there is always something new. That's why their world is so fascinating, and it's not by chance that humans have become so fascinated with horses, because horses represent pure freedom and power, an incredible amount of energy. And now people realize why, for example, people who ride like me, I feel so energized, because horses have a huge electromagnetic field. So the amount of energy you get by riding a horse is immense. That's why humans decided to connect with horses and ride horses, because riding is just another way of getting a lot of energy, and getting also a noble attitude. Being up there on this huge animal is incredible. And if you think about it, horses are so strong that they could actually crush us in 1 second, but they are so obedient, so generous. They're able to carry us around all sorts of ways. They have helped humans in labor, in plowing the earth during the wars. So we should have so much gratitude for them, for what they have done for us, because they are really amazing animals. If you look into the eyes of the horse, you see paradise. This is what the Arab people who have bred Arabian horses for thousands and thousands of years, they know that in their hearts. So they know that when you look into the eyes of the horse, you see paradise. You can see everything. You just see expansive wilderness, pride, beauty, energy, light. There is everything in their eyes. It just, if we know how to look at them, it's just amazing. And whenever they see and they sense that they get so attached. I've always played with my horses, and it was an incredible feeling, a pure feeling of love. So love comes in many forms, and so practicing love with plants, with animals, with nature, with beauty is so much important, because it gives us so much energy and so much light, that then we can actually share it with other people. I think we are brought up with a very limited sense of love. So what love is. And love comes in many forms. So the more love we have in our lives, and the better. And it's also amazing to see how much love even flowers can give us, because plants are so generous. And every time I go into the garden, I see something new, a little flower. Even in the cold weather, there is always something new. And nature is able to give us so much beauty. So even that kind of love can support us through the day, and can support us see the beauty, especially the abundance of the universe. And if you see, the earth is under pressure a lot, because there are so many humans on earth, and we are using polluting substances and not sustainable practices. But in any case, the earth is coming back to give us more. And it's just amazing. So every time I wake up, I just thank Mother Earth of what it gives us: food, for example, water, and beauty, and energy, support, everything. So being grounded on this beautiful planet is so much important, and it's so important to protect it and to protect every living creature on Earth, because um, everything is connected, as if we are in a wood where there is this ecosystem. So we all belong to a large ecosystem. So if we damage something, that damage is going to be felt in all the ecosystem. And so this is really terrible. Ancient populations had a deep, deep connection with nature. They had respect for nature because they knew that their livelihood was coming from nature, but our livelihood comes from nature as well. Even if we are sometimes detached, if we do not live in nature at all, if we don't know where the food comes from, how it is grown, it doesn't matter. We still are very dependent on Mother Earth. So this is a very, very dear subject to me. I try to leave a very light footprint on Earth by saving water, by having a kitchen garden, by trying to have a more sustainable approach to life. And this is so important, not having too much light in the house, or high heating system. My house runs on sun. I have a solar panels, so my energy in the house comes from the sun, only the sun. And it's amazing. It actually works, and I'm so proud of it, because since my motto is to have to do something good for nature every day, this is something that I'm proud of, because I know that I did something important. So I am consuming less energy, and because all the energy I have just is given to me for free, which is pretty amazing. So it really works, and I think that even a little gesture is important. Blessing the water, and eating good food, and everything is important. Every little step is so important, and so even our connection with nature is so important, because if we learn how to get connected with nature, we have profound respect, because we know that there is a whole world there, and that world has to be preserved for us, for the new future generations. So this is the message I wanted to give you, and I hope the next time you get into a forest or into a wood, please stop just 1 second, ask for permission, go there and enjoy. Ciao from Rome. Bye. See you next time.